terrorist strategy, terrorist state sponsors of terrorists. They ought to stay in Iraq to get out of Iraq, part of the world. They ought to stay in Iraq to get out of Iraq, part of the world. Iraq, Iraqi, Iraq, on Iraqi, Iraq, Iraqi, Iran, homeland, Al Qaeda, for example, Al Qaeda, for example. 9/11 was 9/11, and 9/11, Afghanistan, weapons of mass destruction, the Soviets, the Mujahideen, the Taliban, and we're continuing to work the program. Killed 3,000 Americans. Program killed 3,000 Americans. Had really hammered the population into submissiveness. It was very hard for them to stand up and take responsibility, in part because anybody who'd done that in the past had their heads chopped off. If the history books were written by people who have so eager to write off this effort, to declare it a failure, the situation obviously would have been over a long time ago. I just think you're wrong. It's just dead wrong. I simply don't accept the premise of your question. I just think it's hogwash. It's just not true. I've heard that charge. It's simply not true. Frankly, you're out of line with that question. You can ask that question all day long. You can ask all the questions you want. I'm not going to discuss it. I haven't discussed it with anybody in the press yet. I'm not going to discuss it with you today. The bottom line is that we've had enormous successes, and we will continue to have enormous successes. And we've been very successful, enormously successful, and we've had great success against a lot of success.
How worried are you?
Look what we have done. We have not gotten Osama bin Laden. Look what we have done. We have not gotten Osama bin Laden, obviously. The fact of the matter is we can do more than one thing at a time, and we have. Obviously. It's been a remarkable performance by the U.S. military, by our intelligence services, and everything else.
Let's wind up on a soft note.